Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing this evening? Just wait for everybody to come in here. Hopefully everybody can hear us. I'm waiting on Jason. He'll be here in a minute. I'm already live, honey. I said I'm already live, honey. Can you make me
What's up? It's your favorite.
What's up? Can you make me some hot tea?
Never.
Because you're amazing.
I am amazing.
Hey, baby. Uh-oh. Get in there.
You don't have it on the right chat.
No, but I'll get there.
You'll get there in a minute. Did you fix the other stuff?
Yes. It did fix the other stuff.
Yeah. What's up, Arthur? How's it going, buddy? Oh.
Why do I feel like we're zoomed out or something?
I don't know. I don't know if we're zoomed out as much as we're zoomed in. I don't know. What did you do? You always mess it up. Pooper scooper.
Just don't mind me. I'm just having fun here.
Don't mind us if the screen is moving.
I'm just trying to. Jono say, "What's up, Mr. and Mrs. Leatherneck?" Now that's something I haven't been called ever. The first time I've ever been called that. What?
I've been called a lot of things.
Never been called Mrs. Leatherneck.
Oh. I hope everybody had a joyous and wonderful Christmas. As 2024 comes to a close, we can't get these last couple of weeks done fast enough.
I feel like... I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like... I don't understand why.
It's an earthquake! It's an earthquake!
I feel like we're supposed to be at 2/3 and we're not.
Well, then fix it.
You've earned it putting up with him for so long.
Yeah, this
Appreciate it.
November will be 20 years married.
Yeah, we just passed 19, so...
Been married 20 years this coming November.
Yep. It'll be 20.
We should get a pension check or something.
You or me? You already get yours. Kim reached out to me this morning. She's like, hey.
That name sounds familiar. Like maybe they've been here.
Said they were going to
visited.
come back down.
Said that they were going to come back down, but never did. I don't know. I'm
They
confused.
ghosted us.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she didn't completely ghost us because there she is right there.
I don't know. Name
Why
sounds
has my
familiar.
hair got a big knot in it?
I don't know.
We will be at 13
13.
in January. Wow. 13 kids or 13 years? Sorry.
It could go either way. Could go either way.
I'm sorry. But that was just too easy. Well. Okay.
Now, you need to be careful because Amanda is vicious. Remember when I said yarn is yarn?
Yes.
Yeah, she made that Facebook post.
Yes.
I mean, she had put it out there on Facebook.
Oh, that's right. She couldn't bring the dog. That's right. I forgot. That's right. Forgot about that. 7 kids. So about one every 2 years. Girl don't have much of a bounce back, does she?
She's got to get faster.
Man, tell you.
Start paying attention to her surroundings and avoid his tanglefoot.
Anyway, so we figured we'd come on here since we've got one more day left in the year.
That's right. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve, huh?
It sure is. Tomorrow's
Wow.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So, we're pretty excited to start 2025.
Are we, though?
I am. I don't know about you, but I am. You're not excited to start 2025? With all the prospects on the horizon?
Yeah, now, I'm excited about the prospects. Definitely excited about that.
So, to me, that's enough to be excited about the year to come.
2024 was kind of a rough year. Well, the last 4 have all been kind of rough, if you ask me.
Ain't that
That's none of my business. You know, but I mean, let's get that in here. We can hear both of us better.
What's up, Henry?
Yeah, it's because I had that all the way over there. I brought the mic in. It should be better now. What are you doing?
I was just looking at it to make sure that it was the right one. It wasn't the... Yeah, because that one is...
Yeah. Would help if you had that one on the screen when you did that. Yeah, say hello.
Okay. Just checking. Sorry, y'all. Because the other one's not even registering. So
it was because it was over here behind the
Yeah,
cup.
because I muted it. I was just checking to make sure because I know we've had issues in the past with echo, with reverb. So
she's going to be hyper fixated on that now.
No, I'm good. I'm done. Now I'm hyper fixated on the fact that you have something to drink and I don't. Just saying.
Dessa!
She's working on it, I think. I asked for hot tea. Because this is hot tea season. You know, that's one thing that I want for Christmas. I'm going to get myself for Christmas.
What?
Bowls and a new coffee mug. Speaking of which, coffee mug made me think of our surprise visit. Which I imagine he won't be in here.
He's probably on the road.
Probably on the road again. Do you know what kind of dirty trick our daughter tried to play on the other daughter?
Which one?
Carol told LaDessa that Willie Nelson died.
That was nice of her.
Made her look it up.
Yeah?
What? Palmetto said they're in South Carolina at the moment. Where? Are you back home? Because for Rizzle, like, you need to make a detour. Come on up here. Like, for real. On your way back, you can just kind of...
Yeah, but do it before Sunday.
Anyway, so... Or after Monday.
No, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take.
Right, so...
But let's... in case you guys didn't hear, Jimmy Carter passed away.
Yes. Yesterday, right?
Late last night.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? So it's been kind of raining off and on here, and when it's raining, we can't really do anything outside.
Yeah, it's been a little challenging.
Yeah, and so I discovered if you have Netflix, this is, and you want, a solid belly laugh, but also at the same time be absolutely terrified about your future because of eventually these people are going to eventually grow up and become leaders somewhere in the free world. There is a reality TV show called Snowflake Mountain. It's only one season, like 8 episodes. Each episode is like almost an hour, isn't it? Haven't laughed that hard, and in the same time go, how are you even consuming oxygen? How
are you still
breathing?
Alive? How have you survived this long?
The concept of the reality show is they take, I guess, millennials or zennials, whatever they're called. They're basically like
anywhere from 20 to 26, 27.
Yeah.
In that range.
And basically all the criteria is these these adults still have to be living with mom and dad, basically are spoiled rotten, and like
have the entitlement attitude that kind of thing.
On one side of the coin, y'all, it is absolutely so hilarious.
It's very entertaining. However,
they take these kids and they have a Navy explosive ordnance vet and an Army. I think he was. What did he say he was? Man, I forget. I think he blew shit up too.
Anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
2 veterans.
And they both were in Afghanistan. 2 Afghan vets. And are teaching, and they have a survival school, and they are trying to teach them basic survival skills. When I tell you that I have been laughing so hard, I've been crying, it's no exaggeration.
They had a deer. They hung up a deer for them to
don't ruin it.
No, but just this one thing I'll tell you, just give you an idea. But there was a moment where they were like breaking down the deer, and one of the kids there looked and realized that the rib cage of this deer looked like the ribs that he eats when he goes out to eat. Yeah. And it dawned on him that these were not like the ribs that he eats somewhere.
Yeah,
They're not
he had
manufactured.
An epiphany.
Like he had.
You
this
saw it
epiphany,
on his face.
Wait a minute.
It's called Snowflake Mountain.
It's awful. But there are moments like that.
Like from the opening
scene.
Yeah. I started laughing, and I haven't stopped. But also, again, on the flip side of the coin, there was actually at one point, Robin and I were sitting down there. I just lifted my glass up to her and I said, "We won as parents. We're awesome parents.
We did something right." Because there was one point, Ladessa was in there and she was like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
If you ever call me a snowflake again, Dad, I swear, respectfully, I'm going to punch you in the throat. I don't know how you respectfully punch somebody in the throat.
Hell, I don't know how you respectfully threaten to punch somebody in the throat. That child, her new thing is respectfully, and I want to respectfully smack her in the mouth when I hear her say it.
But
respectfully. Anyway.
Our Christmas was very good.
Yes.
Blaze got to come up. Carol's here.
Blaze brought the gift that keeps on giving. Carol has now been sick for the last 3 days.
It's become a tradition.
I'm saying. Every year.
This is like 3 Christmases in a row that Blaze brings some funky crud.
Yeah. And then we're all sick for 3 or 4 days.
And then everybody gets sick. And it usually goes either Ladessa or Carol, and then it'll jump to Robin or me. And it mutates all the way through. Till by the time it gets to the last person, it's like this super bug.
See, I haven't. I wake up every morning, my throat's a little scratchy. I might have a little bit of a, not runny nose, but just kind of eh. But, did you get the PW pajamas? No, I did not get the Pioneer Woman pajamas. No, I think, our poor son, he's been going through a lot the last month or so because he's been waiting on the government to fill out his paperwork. He's been waiting on travel pay from like 2 years ago. He's got all of this stuff he's trying to tie up before he leaves the military. And I think Christmas just snuck up on him.
Yeah.
And he was literally the Saturday before Christmas, like out trying, or Sunday before Christmas, trying to do Christmas. And he just didn't have enough time. And so I think we all ended up with books and money, which was, trust me, not a bad thing. I was okay with that. I think we were all okay with that. But
it was the first time him giving me money.
But I didn't get anything Pioneer Woman, so it was a good Christmas.
Kind of a weird feeling.
Your son giving you money?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah. But come the 3rd of January, well, I mean, he's already a Georgia Bulldog, but he will be, orientation is January 3rd. And then he starts class, the following week or the week after?
No, I don't think he
It doesn't matter. He starts sometime in...
He's got orientation on the 3rd, which is Friday. Basically, his last day in Augusta is going to be New Year's Eve. They're going to, or New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. No. What is Wednesday?
Wednesday's New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. So he's going to be in Augusta New Year's Day, and then he'll be in Athens on the 2nd, and he has orientation on the 3rd. I don't know when classes actually start, but now I know that Carol starts her winterum on the 6th, on that Monday. Mm-hmm. Palmetto says the government will take money you owe them immediately, but take 10 years to pay you what they owe you. And that's what he's been struggling with, is because he's like, he wants to get that all buttoned down before he leaves. Yeah. He got that GI Bill scholarship like a real man.
Yeah. Isn't it buttoned up, not buttoned down?
Either way. Because it's battened down, I'm sorry. Button up or batten down the hatches, I guess. So, whatever. Anyway.
Button up your blouse, batten down the hatches.
Sure. Anyway. Move on. Stop focusing. So, I made cheese today.
I was just going to say...
Oh! Our 2-year-old is waving at Robin. I love it. She calls everyone mommy. Well, hello. Hello, little one.
I thought you was going to bring it in here and show. But
cheese? I mean, I can. And I can bring in the two that... I can't bring in the one that I just made today because it's got, like, way
I don't
still...
think it would probably be a really good idea because...
dripping.
Probably take a bite out of it. So, now, Palmetto's in here. Mm-hmm. You started playing around with our Tabascos and tried to make, like, the Louisiana hot sauce.
All I did... I'm mommy. So
we have a friend. He's now my boss because I accepted a job going to work with him. But his wife is
Mexican.
From I was just gonna say from Mexico. But
well, if she's from Mexico, she's Mexican. Anyway, she's from Mexico, and she regularly makes hot food.
She liked your hot sauce, but she called it sweet. The really hot one, that one that I called ambush that like burnt my freaking face off. She's like, "Oh, this is really good. It's very sweet." I'm like, "It's not."
Don't feel bad. She called all mine sour, so
not
whatever.
Spicy, not hot.
I guess because of all the vinegar in it. But I fermented Tabascos for about 6 weeks, I guess. And then
I'm just assuming that this woman takes coals out of a fire.
I don't know, because with the Tabasco, like straight up just Tabasco sauce, I can't even barely put it on my lips, and my lip almost goes numb. It's so spicy. Yeah. Like, I can't even feel my lip. Like, I don't even know. And I told Jason, I said, I'm not going to trash this. I'm going to use it as a base for other stuff. Like, if I add something, like, if I make a barbecue sauce, I'll make a sweet and spicy barbecue sauce, and we'll put some of that in it.
I think maybe that she just probably grades, like, the scorpion or ghost pepper and just, like, sprinkles it on popcorn.
Well, he said, honestly, people who seriously eat super hot peppers are never going to say that jalapeno sauce is hot. So, if I make a sauce super hot, it doesn't sell as much. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah. That's why I'm really looking forward to growing those Sugar Rush peach peppers this year, because they had a really good flavor with a good heat, a good level of heat. So they weren't like spicy, burn your face off. Yeah.
We pretty much have our summertime garden plotted out. It'll change about 6 more times.
I wouldn't say plot it out. I would say I know what we're going to be growing next
Like I
year.
It'll change about 6 more times.
And here's the shameless plug. If you have not used GrowVeg,
yeah, they don't care how many times you change it.
I love GrowVeg.com. Their garden planner. It's not super expensive, but it is so easy to use. They have all of the different varieties. Like, you can just put on there that you want to grow peppers, but you can go in there and change what peppers you want, what kind of peppers you're going to grow. And then what it does is it sets up that plot so that that's the same plot you're going to use the next year. Like, say you have raised beds. It'll clear out everything that you said that you were planting in there, and give you the same plot just with all the stuff gone. And then if you go to plant peppers in the place that you planted peppers the year before, it'll tell you don't plant peppers here. Plant them, Yeah. Don't plant it. It'll highlight the areas where you planted peppers so that you don't replant peppers there. It's really
that way it gives your soil the health of your soil longevity, and it also suggests what to follow it with. So that way,
and it had companion. I was showing you. It has like a place where it tells you like what companion plants you can plant with it. I mean, it is a very helpful resource.
Like if you have a plot of corn, it would suggest to you to follow it with some beans to put the nitrogen back in the soil that the corn obviously rips out, because corn is a nitrogen crackhead.
Did you know that beans require nitrogen, but they also put nitrogen back in? Isn't that weird?
Yep. That's why they're a good companion to corn. Not only will they help the corn by stabilizing it, but they put the nitrogen back in that the corn will ravage from. It's a good little... Now, I mean, look, pros and cons. It is a fantastic planner to use, but do not shy away from your graph paper and plotting it out that way, because things go sideways. You're still going to want to be able to keep up with that. That's why a gardening notebook is just uber important.
I do believe that you also have the option of printing it out. So once you've finalized your plan, I would absolutely recommend that. But one thing I will tell you that is very helpful is because it is internet based. When I'm outside planting, if I run into something where I end up putting something somewhere else, like in raised beds, for instance, you may realize you only have 4 Swiss chard and you were going to put 6 Swiss chard in that square or whatever. I may go back and change that I only put 4 in there. Well, I can do that straight from my phone. Like, I can pull up on my phone, or in the other side of it, I can, when we go out to plant our garden, Jason will be like, well, what goes here? And I can look it up. Instead of having to run back into the house or grabbing my notebook or whatever, I can grab it and put it in there and not have to worry about looking at it back at the thing. I'm working on writing a carnivore garden book.
That's when you take the feet off of your pigs and you plant them to grow another pig.
Gotcha.
It's like you take the hooves off a cow or off a deer, take a fish head and you plant it.
Palmetto said, turns out that leftover mash from making wine is great fertilizer. It's also really good to feed your pigs. Speaking of which, Amanda, I don't think you even saw my message, but I had a question. I have all of this leftover mash from when I fermented and made the pepper sauce. You still have the stuff that doesn't quite strain through. Is there anything I can do with that? Because I have quite a bit of it. And I was just wondering. I've always wanted to set up a huge dead fall trap at the entrance to my garden, so it produces venison too. Speaking of venison,
that might happen this year. I have a backhoe.
we have a problem. We have enticed some does up to our front.
No, I think they're gonna get
Dehydrate it and then blend it and use it for a seasoning. See, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure. So I thought I would ask you before I set the world on fire with all of that
Sunday night would be a great night to do that.
mash. It's gonna be. When I was heating up the Tabasco, they could smell it from the shop.
Out by the milking barn.
But you almost could smell it from the shop. When you got to the milking barn, it was strong.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was really strong.
Yeah. But it didn't really burn.
It didn't when I ate it. It was awful. It's very strong. A very little bit will go a long way. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. We actually did that. So I had a pretty good bumper crop of cayenne as well. And so I dried the cayenne peppers, the red ones. And as I need them, because right now I'm just storing them in a Ziploc bag, dried. And as I need them, I'll put them in the blender and
How'd that go?
And
One more
then
time. Can you do it again?
and
What about
stop. And so
How'd that go?
we made a full bottle of it because they needed it for the sausage. And so because Ladessa was like, darn it, we don't have any cayenne pepper. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? We have a lot of cayenne pepper. Just give me a second. Put it in the blender. And off it went.
What did they do in the blender? How'd that go? You're the one that keeps doing it.
But yeah, we had a good thing with cayenne. And then right before we moved all the peppers inside, I had a lot of green cayenne on the plant. And when we ate them, they tasted like green peppers. Like, for real, tasted like green peppers. I ate an entire one. It was not a big deal. And now, I mean, I have them in my fridge in a Ziploc, and I pull them out. I pull out a couple at a time, chop them up, and put them in. And they are really warm. I bet that mash powdered would work well for some hot sausage. Maybe. Maybe. Like really hot sausage. Because like you said, I imagine, and I don't remember how much she used for the cayenne, just for the Italian sausage, just the regular mild sausage, she had to use some cayenne.
Mm-hmm. You know what's really cool?
What's really cool?
Is we've been living this lifestyle 16, 17 years. Right?
Ladessa is 17.
So
18 years.
18 years. And during this, we've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had our successes, and we've had our failures. Normally, I would say I wish we had more successes than failures.
Mm-mm.
But if you take a step back and you look at the big picture, our end game goal was always to educate.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is when we talked about that, we always thought about the main focus with the education purpose was people like y'all. But the really cool thing is now on take a step back and you look. Both my girls can, as long as they have either a bow or a gun or even some traps.
Slingshot.
Or in Carol's case, a slingshot for small game. they can acquire food.
Mm-hmm.
They can clean it,
Mm-hmm.
butcher it, cook it,
Cure it,
cook it. They, as long as they get their hands on some seeds, they can plant it, they can raise it, and they can can it, they can dehydrate it.
They know how to forage.
Yeah, they know how to forage, and so they know how to survive. They don't need, like, one of my big stressors with Carol off at school has always, I'm always hounding her. How are you on money? How are you on money? How are you on money? Do you need some money? Do you need some money? And Carol's not very smart because she's like, no, Dad, I'm good. Because they grew up watching us be frugal. Mm-hmm. They grew up participating in a self-sufficient lifestyle. And
she's easily entertained.
Well, now she's hanging out with other kids at college that come from that same type of background. A lot of them are mission kids that their parents were on mission trips, Africa and I don't know, New York, all these different places. And so you listen to some of her stories, and when they're talking about, well, we went and did this, and so we gathered this, and then we came back and we fixed it up. You know, or what did she call them? Homie Saturdays or something like that?
No, side quest. Saturday side quest.
Saturday side quests, where they just
pick a place.
Or go, and her college is tucked back into a mountain to the point where I told her if anything goes sideways, just stay put because we're coming to you. I'm just going to take over to college. It's got a beautiful creek that runs through it, slap full of trout.
Deer,
and deer don't even care. They'll like walk up to the car and you got to like punch them in the head to get them to leave.
There's a waterfall. I mean, it's beautiful.
I mean, everything that you need is right there. Yeah. And so seeing, you get, at least from my point of view, I can't speak for Robin, but I get a lot of enjoyment, satisfaction, like micro goal celebration, that you sit back and you don't, that stressor is now off your plate, that your kid will never end up on a reality show called Snowflake Mountain and have an epiphany that they realize this is where ribs come from. But you know, it's a dog eat dog world out there, and you, as a parent, you want to do everything you can to prepare your kid and to protect your kid and let them be prepared for all of the craziness, whether you're talking about communism, alphabet people, whatever, you know. And you have to take, because they're going to develop their own little personalities, and their moral compass is going to get developed through their experiences and what you teach them and how you raise them, but through their own experiences is also going to fluctuate that compass. But to see them have a work ethic, have a solid foundation, have faith, have a relationship, knowing where their food comes from, a relationship with the outdoors, knowing that there has to be a balance, and they are not hopelessly blinded by propaganda. Like, one of my favorite memes is the one where Negan is standing there and he's looking over his shoulder and he's smiling, and it says it's the dad listening to their child stand up for themselves and speak their rights and speak their mind, and coming from a solid education background and not believing the BS that's trying to be spoon-fed to these kids nowadays. You know, but seeing that come to fruition, seeing that, it takes, at least from me, it takes a load off. Now, look, I'm always going to be protective daddy. I'm always going to be safety net, I guess, is for lack of a better term. But knowing that I don't have to be, not like I would ever really be anyway, because it never really was, a helicopter parent.
Right.
With them, especially with girls. And, you know, all of this sex trafficking crap that's out there nowadays, all of this, you hear, like, the girl that came from Hawaii, landed in LA, and then, like, disappeared. And now they're saying she voluntarily went missing. Mm. I don't know how somebody voluntarily goes missing. But
I don't know. The whole thing sounds fishy to me.
People are getting, and look, I know it comes from my side of the family because my girls are good looking, and it comes from this DNA here. A little bit of that over there, but mostly this right here.
Considering Carol looks like I went.
We're not talking about that. It's refreshing knowing that
they can take care of themselves.
Yeah. Girls want to go to Walmart. Okay. You know, they go in pairs. They stick to the buddy system. Drives them crazy sometimes. But they do it. They know why they do it. And it's carried on. And it's just really, really refreshing for me.
Well, Dessa?
I'm going right now. My doorknobs came back. That happens.
I hate it when that happens.
And you say all these things, and then it's...
and then they say...
I ripped my doorknob out.
Oh, I got it. God, I love it.
Yeah. Is the chat still working? Because, like, nobody has said anything in a little bit.
I mean, I can refresh if you want me to.
I don't know if you should refresh, but...
No.
Well, but, you know, well, you got it on top chat again. That's probably why.
No, it's not probably why. It's still...
Probably it could happen.
Okay.
You never know. It could happen. But yeah, that's... For me, that's refreshing. For me, that is... it's the reward, you know. And then you see people like Jonathan at Lone Star Living, how they went from being in the apartment to they now have a 22, 23 acre homestead, and they're thriving, you know, and now, you know. And I'd like to say we had a little bit to do with that, you know. And I think we are at the brink. I just got a lot of hope for the next 4 years. I think one of the best decisions Trump made was putting RFK in that spot. He's made a lot of good decisions with his cabinet so far. But putting RFK in that spot and backing it up with getting Salatin being advisory for the Department of Ag, I think folks like us have a tremendous opportunity business opportunities in front of us, that our homesteads could really start paying the mortgage. We could really start to share our experiences and educate and build that community that everybody dreams about, everybody talks about, because I think that's the way the compass, that's the way the stuff is going to start to go.
I think it already is starting to
Here.
go that way, at least with the common public. I think we're having more and more recalls on food and more things where I think the average person is finally going,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah, but let me rephrase. I think we're going to start to see a lot of these crazy laws that were benefiting commercial ag way too much. I think we're going to start to see them come back to center. And I think I hope we're going to start to see a lot more common sense stuff. Because, like, my state, Georgia, we probably have some of the most asinine laws when it comes to raw milk. They'll let you sell it, but it leans heavily towards
Commercial.
the commercial milk and dairy industry, that the small guy like me, really can't afford to try to jump in and sell raw milk, because of all of the milking stanchion, milking parlor rules and regulations, the licensing fees, the stickers that you got to put on there, all this crazy stuff. I think you're going to start to see some of that come back to center. The crazy law that we have when it comes to selling eggs. We can sell them to anybody off the street as long as they come to the farm or meet us at the farmer's market. And we have a refrigerated unit at the farmer's market to be able to keep the eggs at a certain temperature. The moment a chef shows up in a vehicle or a van that has the restaurant's name on it or the store's name on it, I have to jump through a gazillion hoops and probably spend $50,000 to $70,000 to be able
get everything.
just to be able to be on par to be able to sell to that restaurant. Now that chef can come here in his privately owned vehicle and buy me out every single day, but the moment he shows up with a van that says like taste on it, I have to have a paved driveway, I have to have a bathroom, I have to have all this kind of stuff, and I think we're going to see some of those rules. I hope some of those rules come back to center. I really hope that they promote farmers markets in each town, to encourage towns to start farmers markets, community gardens, those kinds of things. So we'll see. I really hope that happens. Time will tell. Yeah. Robert F. Kennedy, if you watch if you can push through, look, the man is, he thinks like us, but he just sounds like he's struggling to breathe when he talks, and my heart goes out to him. So we'll see. I think with Salatin going to be a advisor for the Department of Ag, I think you're going to see a lot of push to get rid of the CAFOs, maybe even get rid of some of these chicken houses and stuff like that.
Ooh, Lordy.
Because right now they want to say that a cow is the biggest emitter of methane gas in our atmosphere. That's causing the greenhouse gases. And then they've even done, Robin read somewhere they've done research, it's really not the cow's farts, it's the cow's burps. And being around cows a lot, when a cow does burp, it's rough. But I think when you pull these cows out of these CAFOs, and I think they're not going to have a leg to stand on when it comes to that stuff anymore, because they start pushing regenerative agriculture, and they're going to see the benefits not only to the food system but to the environment as well. That I think the days of the factory farming are numbered. Now there's going to be a lot of pushback from Tyson, from Monsanto. There's going to be a lot that it's going to be a war, and you can't blame them. It's business, right? So they're going to be. I mean, you can blame them. That was a bad choice of words, but you can't be surprised about it, because they tend to lose a lot of money, and I think you're going to see a divide happen. And I think you're going to start to everybody's going to get to see the little man behind the curtain in Oz in the next 4 years. I really do. I think that you're going to see doctors that were not on board with all of this, pushing the pharmaceuticals, pushing this. I think their little voice, because there's some of them out there. A lot of people have always said, if the first thing your doctor wants to talk to you about is taking medication instead of talking to you about your diet and stuff, you have a dealer, not a healer. Unfortunately, right now, I believe we have more dealers than healers out there. Because they're getting kickbacks from the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah,
the pharmaceuticals are getting kickbacks from insurance companies and Monsanto and all these big.
Monsanto owns Bayer.
Yeah.
Or Bayer owns Monsanto. So I mean, that's the thing, is like you got to follow the money, and there's no money kickbacks in produce
Or healthy people.
Like, you start telling people to eat healthy, where's the kickbacks from that?
Yeah. And so it's going to be very interesting. So and look, I'm not trying to sow any false hope. I'm not trying to sow any conspiracy theories or anything like that. This is just one old fat guy's opinion. But it'd be very interesting to watch. Just keep your ear to the ground and sit back and watch. If you're on the fence with some of the conspiracy theories, that are supposedly out there, I think you're going to be at a point where you're not really going to be on that fence anymore. A lot of people, say they're going to be draining the swamp. I honestly believe that that's the intention right now. We'll see how far it goes. I would love for this country to get back to the pre-1972 way of agriculture. That was one of the things, like, one of my old-time favorite comedians was old Jerry Clower. Mm-hmm. And Jerry Clower got his start by he was a traveling salesperson. He was selling seed and fertilizer and ag stuff. And he would go around to the local feed and seeds and start selling seed, or start selling this tractor part, or whatever it was. I think mostly of it was like what we call black cow today. And that's how he really got to start, because you could see it. He just got down there and he got to talking and got to telling stories, got a crowd around him, and he was successful. And then it kind of just branched out into that career. But one of the things that he said a long time ago, it was I guess it was 70s, maybe 80s, I don't know. He was going around and he was talking about education and what things were doing. And, if people wanted to learn about computers and cars, They went to Japan. He said, but if they wanted to learn about agriculture, they had to come here. Because back then, we led the world with agriculture. And we can get back to that way again. And so I'm really excited to see. I think the things that, I think HOAs might be in trouble. When it comes down to it.
I think what'll end up, I think what you'll start to see is because people won't move into them, that they will stay, the houses will stay unsold. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll have a neighborhood put together that supposedly has an HOA, and you'll see those houses sit. And I think that's what will happen. I think you'll see a lot of builders, because, like, my cousin works with a builder, and I'm pretty sure he builds neighborhoods that are the typical HOA kind of thing, and they're having to move.
Yeah.
And go to a different part of the country, because down south where he is, people are not going for it as much anymore. So I don't know that they'll just completely disappear, but I think you're right. I think you are going to see a push for people to not have them, so they'll just move somewhere else. Yeah. They'll just look at a house and go, it's got an HOA, never mind. Yeah.
Or you'll start to see the HOAs backpedal and start to
let things fly that
didn't fly before.
Yeah, they might start making changes to, you can have a few chickens, you can have a this, you can have a that, but it just has to be, a local government. So.
Yep. So I'm excited for 2025
socialist, yes,
and beyond. I think that it's probably going to go a lot longer than 4 years.
I don't think. I mean, obviously Trump will be out, but I think.
But Vance has a very good head on his shoulders. I think it'd be a whole nother, like Reagan Bush thing when Reagan got out. Bush Senior came in, but he only did 4. But I think.
Well, we have a couple of good prospects, younger gentlemen that could really, and yes, I said gentlemen, that could step in after if things go well in those 4 years and people want it to continue. I think that could happen.
I think everybody needs to hold on. I think the first 100 days are going to be rough.
I think the first year is going to be rough.
Maybe.
I don't even think it's going to be 100 days. I think it's going to be the first 6 months to a year is going to be, and then it'll start to level out. But let's be honest. It took us 4 years to get into this mess. Yeah. So it's going to take us a minute to get out of it. So... And it's like we've said before, like whenever you have something happen financially with your household and you have to cut some stuff and pinch some things, things can get tight and they can get a little unpleasant, but you just learn to deal with it. And that's what I feel like is going to happen. There's going to be some things that are going to probably be a little uncomfortable, but, if it gets us back to where we were, is it worth it?
I think homeschooling is going to see a big push.
We're already seeing a lot of things being a little bit more since COVID.
But overall, I have a very positive outlook for 2025. And beyond. There's that sense of, just in the atmosphere right now, there's more hope, more positivity.
Hope is the right word. I think you're right. Yeah.
In the atmosphere. Right now.
Well, people have been beat down for the last year at least financially. Like they're saying we've made the most money we've ever made, but we're more in debt than we were before. Like. Yeah. If you aren't homeschooling, no judgment, but right. And we're learning, as we're navigating through the college system, we're learning that it's not super difficult to have your kid homeschooled and still get them into college. It's not that hard.
Yeah. With scholarships.
Right. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go Ivy League. If you want Ivy League, then you might want to try and get your school accredited. Well, your homeschooling accredited.
Well, here's the thing about that. I don't think you should send your kid Ivy League right off the bat if you're homeschooling. I think we found a very sweet spot.
We were very lucky.
The little college that the girls are going to Toccoa Falls, is a perfect college for homeschool kids, in my opinion. The campus is kind of small.
Everything's together. Everything's
real close and around. They do an amazing job with orientation. And it kind of it gives your kid the opportunity to enter that classroom culture, that college culture, because by the time they get to college, if you're homeschooling, they should be used to studying and stuff on their own anyway, in my opinion. But being able to express what they're thinking, do it however, not get lost, not be lost in the system, because there's 500,000 kids going there, like at UGA or someplace. They have the opportunity to thrive, not just survive. If you automatically send a homeschool kid into a big Ivy League
or state school, like big state school like UGA or something like that,
it may be a bit of a culture shock. It may be a little bit of a huge stress factor for them. And at the end of the day, Lone Star's right. Employers do not care what the name of the college is on your degree. They just want to see that you finished it, because it proves that you were able to sign up for something, go to it, and finish it, and complete it satisfactory. And so I think, at least for the girls, to get their bachelor's degree, a small... Is Toccoa Falls considered a community college?
It's a full-on college.
Yeah, it's a full-on college. A small college like that, then when they go for their masters and on their graduate degrees, then they can go to the bigger schools, because then they've got all that experience under their belt. They're more mature. They're more focused. They got all of that. I'm out from Mom and Dad. I stretched my wings. I'm bringing my wings back in. I can focus in on what really I want to do, and then go for it. I mean, besides, when you first go to college, your first 2 or 3 years is really trying to figure out what the crap you want to do with your life. And a small college like Toccoa Falls, they really help the kids kind of narrow it down and do that, but I think that...
Right. That's what I was going to say with Jonathan. He said that they don't even care what your degree was in. All a degree shows is that you're trainable and can work hard, unless it's a specialized field, obviously. So, that's something that the girls are both looking into. Because, see, that's the way I was taught when I went, because I obviously came from just regular school environment, to kind of have an idea of a major of what you wanted to do, so that when you get there, they pretty much have a roadmap of what classes you need to take. And because I was on scholarship, and Carol's kind of the same way, you don't want to waste your money, your free money, right? You want to take whatever you can do and get it done. And so, it's nice to have kind of narrowed down a major, just so that she can go, okay, what classes do I need to take, so that I make sure that I'm not wasting my time. So,
well, our time is just about up, but before we leave, I want to do a little, lack of a better term, shout out. Normally, I do not promote this guy. He's usually full of clickbait and a lot of scare tactics. But he recently put out a really good year in review video. Canadian Prepper. I used to watch him hardcore when I first started, but he kind of went to more fear-mongering and clickbait type stuff that I kind of backed off from watching him a lot. But the video is called, what's right there? It's called,
This one?
yeah, Alert Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. Basically, what was the what happened in 2024? There was some things in that video that I missed throughout the year, and I was like, "Ooh, I didn't know that." But this video, it caught my eye, because I still, I have not unsubscribed from him, because for occasions like this, he does usually pop up with something good, and there'll be times he'll go on a spree where he's spitting out really good information and he's giving out really good stuff to know, and he'll do it for like a week and then he goes right back into the fear tactics and stuff. That's why I haven't unsubscribed from him. But his year in review kind of thing was really good. I think he did a spot on job with that one. I think it's definitely a video to go watch. It's not, don't, like super panic over the video, but it's just one of those things that just helps you keep your finger on the pulse to let you know where everything is at, the direction that it's going, the temperature. And then also, I just want to say, you guys, look, Happy New Year. If you had a great 2024, I pray that you have a great 2025. If you had a mediocre 2024 or a bad 2024, leave it in 2024.
Yep.
Do not carry it with you. You can't live back there anymore. You can only live what's at the tip of your nose and forward. And sit down with your loved ones, make a goal list for 2025. And then break those goals down into what's called micro goals. Small, tiny, achievable goals. And take 2025, grab it by the horns, and run with it. Like Shia LaBeouf said, don't let your dreams be dreams, baby.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Don't let your dreams just be dreams.
There you go.
Grab them and run with it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for loving on us, supporting us throughout 2024 and before, and we really hope that you guys stick with us and support us through 2025.
Excuse me.
And Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, and we love you guys, and we'll see you
next year.
I was gonna say that. You stole that from me.
Because you talk so much.
Like the whole first 45 minutes was nothing but you.
Really? Do you want to watch the replay?
I'm gonna go watch some more
Snowflake Mountain.
Snowflake Mountain.
We love y'all. Good night.
God bless. Now this is the time I do get to talk, because Robin don't want to talk these last 20 seconds, so I get to talk.
I'm gonna talk.
So we love you guys. Have a great, happy New Year. Be safe. Don't drink and drive.